nothing at all would have changed what happened down the street. What happened was an execution, nothing short of it. And also what happened, as Bernard said, immediately what went into play was the code of silence. It was just automatic. Witnesses shoot off the scene, video evidence destroyed, lies told to the media, and then there's this video, and the video is covered up. Yeah. I get a call, and this is how strong the code of silence is. I get a confidential call from within law enforcement, someone who's seen the video, and what they tell me, they're like, they're going to bury this. It's going to be like every one of these other shootings. And to put this in context, we have a police shooting in Chicago on average of once a week, and that goes back for about 30 years.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Mike. This is my YouTube page, Mox News. Thanks for tuning in. I just wanted to say real quick, this is something that I've been thinking about a lot, this whole code of silence and how cops protect each other. This is a way that cops are exactly like criminals, right? Criminals have this like, don't snitch, right? Don't snitch. Don't be a snitch. Don't be a snitch. You dirty rat. You cops are just like criminals doing this, okay? This is what criminals do. We want to be able to respect cops. If you're fucking dirty rat liars, do you respect dirty rat liars? People who look in your face and lie? Do you respect that person? Anybody, I mean, I can appreciate, having lived with a teenager recently, I can appreciate, the ability, the imagination it takes to be able to create a good lie and then stick to it. But it's criminal, and nobody respects it. You know why? Because it makes you, it's like you think people are stupid. You're like, oh, no videotape exists. Here, we'll just go erase the videotape at Burger King. See, it did never exist. Now we'll just cover up all the other videotapes of all the dash cameras, and we'll just pretend like they didn't exist. And we'll tell the media, and the media will just repeat what we say because they're our bitch. If you cops want to be respected, that's what we would like. We'd like to be able to respect you. So why don't you act respectable? Why don't you get rid of people among you that are not respectable? Hold yourselves to a higher standard so that we don't have to. Instead of acting like dirty rat criminals. You dirty rat. You dirty rat. Thanks for tuning in. My name is Mike. One of these days this war is going to end. Till that day, stay cool.
So here's the big news in Chicago today. Mayor Rahm Emanuel asks for the resignation of Police Superintendent Gary McCarthy. Let's discuss now with Craig Futterman. He's the director of Civil Rights and Police Accountability Project. Activist Jamal Green and Bernard Harcourt, who wrote a New York Times op-ed titled Cover Up in Chicago. And it does appear to look that way, that it's a cover up. So Craig, I want to start with you. What do you think is you think McCarthy's firing is going to be the key to repairing the trust with this community?
No. There have been a series of police scandals in Chicago that go way back, and when they occur and then political crises that follow, you see a familiar recipe and a familiar playbook, and it looks a lot like what we're seeing now. It starts with some heads are going to roll, there'll be an announcement of a blue ribbon commission, a committee will do a thorough investigation, no stone unturned, but then at the end of the day, the question is, and this has been the issue, the underlying issues, why so many large segments of the black population, black community here in Chicago don't trust the police, never get addressed. And so, you know, it can be the same things. New superintendent, we've had many.
Do you think the mayor should go? Because a lot of reporters were asked, reporters asked during that press conference if the mayor was going to step down too.
The mayor's not going anywhere is the reality, and I think this is a real test for the mayor now. He has failed the test when it comes to police accountability so far. But right now is one of these political moments when the issue is this the time when someone, and he has to think about what his legacy is and what he wants his legacy to be. Does he want to be known possibly as the person who helped to change police in Chicago and bring in real police reform? It starts with honesty.
That's a good point. But Jamal, you're shaking your head in agreement. You think the mayor should step down?
Definitely. You got to look at it like this. This is the mayor's city. He is the CEO. If this is a corporation, he would be fired. You know, you mean to tell me that the mayor, who's the CEO, the city council, who would be the board of directors, approved a $5 million settlement during the re-election campaign and not even seen the video? That does not say that we were wrong. That says that, we have to keep in power. If this was a corporation, stockholders would have Rahm Emanuel's head for the job that he has been doing. And as residents of the city of Chicago, we are the stockholders. So we definitely are calling for new leadership and accountability. And that does not that does not begin and end with a superintendent of police or a beat cop. It starts with the mayor, who is desperate to keep in power, and the city council who's doing his bidding to also stay in power. So
Bernard,
definitely Rahm Emanuel has to go.
Bernard, your piece was about a cover-up in Chicago. Do you think this was roundly absolutely a cover-up?
Yeah, I think the evidence points that way. They did everything they could at the highest levels to just quash this dash cam video, just to hide it, right? For 13 months, right? And just to keep it out of the public, because they knew that the minute that we would see that video, heads would roll and it would be, all hell would break loose. And it did, right? In approximately, 2 business days, you've already got the chief of police who's fired, and you've got the city that doesn't have any confidence in the mayor. So I think that they look, the mayor's office did everything, litigated to keep it under wraps, reached agreements with the family to keep it under wraps, because there was a re-election.
The Attorney General, Lisa Madigan, is asking for the Department of Justice, the Civil Rights Division, to investigate the Chicago Police Department. Will that make a difference, do you think?
Well, I think investigations are useful and important. But in this case, I think the problem moved from a kind of policing issue to a political issue.
Yeah.
Right? It's not just the police department, right? And the buck doesn't stop at the commissioner's desk.
Well, Craig, he has a point about all of these. Well, let's ask people to investigate. You need the information, I guess, to officially document it. But doesn't it always uncover what everyone there has already known, what people have been saying for years? Because people have been saying this for years about Chicago and about Chicago PD. And as someone who's lived there, it's true.
Right. And that's why it's past time to actually address the problems. I mean, here's the one point that I disagree. No matter what, think about how the situation might have looked different if the mayor and the police department were honest from the very beginning about what happened. That wouldn't change what happened there down on the street. Nothing at all would have changed what happened down on the street. What happened was an execution, nothing short of it. And also what happened, as Bernard said, immediately what went into play was the code of silence. It was just automatic. Witnesses shoot off the scene, video evidence destroyed, lies told to the media, and then there's this video and the video is covered up. Yeah. I get a call, and this is how strong the code of silence is, I get a confidential call from within law enforcement, someone who's seen the video, and what they tell me, they're like, they're gonna bury this. It's going to be like every one of these other shootings. And to put this in context, we have a police shooting in Chicago on average of once a week. And that goes back for about 30 years. 75% of the people who are shot by police in Chicago are African American. So I got a call from someone who had a lot of courage to say, I'm putting my life in jeopardy, I'm putting my job in jeopardy, but something needs to happen here. Yeah. But imagine what would have happened if they told the truth from the beginning. Yeah. Think about what happened in Cincinnati and the very different reactions. Yeah. Terrible shooting, Craig, someone gets shot in the head. Go ahead.
Craig, I've got to go. Craig, Bernard, and
of course.
Jamal, I have to go, but I appreciate all of you joining us here on CNN. We'll continue the conversation. We come right back. What will it take to turn things around in Chicago?
I'm the leading state sponsor of terrorism